I'm going down to the drugstore, buy a big old skein of yarn. I'm gonna knit me a kitten, even if you don't give a darn.
Welcome to the We Are Yarn podcast. This is episode number, I haven't even opened my book to see, 137. It is Tuesday, November I haven't looked at the calendar, 29th. Okay, so welcome to We Are Yarn, episode 137, being recorded on Tuesday, the 29th of November at 10 o'clock. My baby is just falling asleep for his nap, and I know I had gotten on a Friday schedule, and then the Friday schedule got thrown off because of the Thanksgiving holiday. And I was going to record this Friday. I'm recording a little early because I just want to let everybody know that East Tennessee is where I'm from. I'm about an hour away from Gatlinburg, Tennessee. And a fire broke out on Chimney Rock, I think is what they call it, one of the mountains there in the Great Smoky Mountains. And because we had a storm blowing in, we had really high winds yesterday all across the area. I'm down in the valley, but the fire from Chimney Rock, because of the winds, spread rapidly and wildly and is currently devouring Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Ober-Gatlinburg has been destroyed, if you're familiar with Gatlinburg. A lot of people have been evacuated. I've been meaning to reach out to Nancy at the Smoky Mountain Spinnery to see if her shop, if that end of town is really being affected, but I have not sat down to do that. The only way I can do that is on Facebook. So if you want to go to Facebook and look up Smoky Mountain Spinnery, hopefully they'll be giving us updates about how they're doing soon. Ober-Gatlinburg burned. Arrowmount right now is the craft school there in Gatlinburg. I don't know if you're familiar, but they've been around for 100 or more years teaching handcrafts of all sorts. They have lost 2 dorms and a maintenance shed, but last report I heard that was it. But I myself and my friends and family are all safe. Well, I have one friend that lives up in Wares Valley. A lot of structures in Wares Valley have burned. When I spoke to him last night, the fires were 3 miles away from his house and they were keeping a close eye on it. They're wanting people to not use a lot of cell phones right now. I'm sure they've lost some towers up there, and the emergency responders need that cell service to be able to coordinate their efforts. And it was getting really clogged down last night. So I'm just sitting on pins and needles, hoping that he's okay in his home and his animals are all okay and his family. So just let you guys know that we're okay. I think East Tennessee is never going to be the same now after this. And yeah, so let's talk a little bit of knitting. Can you tell I have something finished? If you follow me on Facebook, you'll have seen this already in its pre-blocked state. It was a little tight-ish, tighter than I had hoped. But of course, as with most knitting, blocking makes a world of difference. So we have a new knitter in my knit group. She's probably not going to be seeing this, but it dawned on me that maybe I should start talking a little more about the terms I'm using, in case you are kind of newish to the craft and don't know a lot of these terms. So blocking is when you kind of stretch something out and give the stitches the opportunity to kind of settle into their place and cozy up with each other and really get comfortable. There are several ways you can do this. You can steam block, which is where you pin your item out and use steam to help those stitches all settle. So you can pin it out before you steam it, or you can put a kettle on, and when the steam starts coming out the spout, hold your item over it, let the steam really get into it good, all that warm moisture get into it, and then lay it out, pin it out the way you want, or just lay it out. Or you can wet block, which is when you make a bath for your item, dunk it down in there gently. We don't want any, unless you want to fool your item or felt it, gently submerge it into warmish water, and let that water get in there and everything kind of swim around, do its thing. You can use a wool wash when you use that, or when I first started knitting and spinning, I was using the Suave Daily Clarifying Conditioner because it rinses away very cleanly. But with that method, you would need to do a second wash to rinse, a rinse bath. This time for my sweater, or these days, because I asked for some for Christmas, I got 3 giant bottles. I use Eucalyptus Wool Wash. This sweater was a little bit itchy. This is my hand spun, it's Shetland. I spun it, I'd only been spinning 2 years, and I didn't have that much experience. And I spun all my singles the same, across the board, didn't matter what fiber it was, because that's the only way I knew. So I spun it short forward draw, pretty tight singles, then I 3-plot it to make a DK to worsted weight. Some places, as I was knitting, I found some more lace weight areas. Some places more Aran bulky in. But overall, kind of a heavy DK light worsted is what I ended up with. And because of the way I spun it, it's a little bit scratchy. I think Shetland in general is going to be a little bit scratchy, but this was definitely rustic. So I ran a warmish sink full of water, and before I added my Eucalyptus wash to it, I added a I have a pumper for my hair conditioner. I added 2 pumps of my hair conditioner to the water, kind of swished it around until it was all dissolved into the water, and then I added my unscented Eucalyptus. I have jasmine Eucalyptus as well, but I did not want the jasmine and the conditioner to be battling it out for the scent you smelled when you smelled my sweater. So I did my unscented Eucalyptus, and then gently submerged my sweater, kind of smooshed it down in there until it was all good and soaked, and then I let it soak for about 20 minutes. Then I pulled it out and wrung it out and laid it flat on a towel and wrung it out good, got as much water out as I could into the towel, and then I laid it on a sweater dryer to dry. I kind of pinned it out onto the sweater dryer. If you don't know what a sweater dryer is, I got this at like a Tuesday morning, something like that. Mine's very cheap. I probably paid $2 for it. It's PVC, and then there's mesh, a big PVC square, and then there's mesh stretched over the PVC, and then it has little legs, so it kind of elevates your sweater so that air can get to it from all sides. So I kind of pinned it out on that. Before blocking, it was 17 inches is what it measured laying flat. And if you saw it on Instagram, it didn't look horrible, but that wasn't the style of sweater I really wanted. I was wearing it, I guess, with 3-4 inches of negative ease, if not more, and it was kind of tightish all the way down. After I blocked it, after I gave it its bath and laid it out and blocked it, I kind of stretched it out to, now I'm at 40 inches, 38 or 40 inches, diameter all the way around. I think 19 inches is what I measured, so 38. So it's perfect. It is perfect. Blocking fixed a lot of things. And I don't know, let me back up. Let you see it. See, so now it's kind of loose, hanging there. I am in my sports bra because I'm dressed to go work out as soon as my babysitter gets here. So I have some positive ease now all the way down, and it is perfect. Don't let the absence of ends fool you. I have just tucked them into my sleeves. I have not gotten around to what weaving my ends in because that's how I roll. But, so this is the Pallaido, P-A-L-L-A-I-D-O by Jane Richmond. It is a top-down raglan. You start out on the back, going back and forth to make the back kind of higher than the front, and then you join doing your raglan increases. Then you join after a period. The modifications I have made. It calls for a DK. This is a heavy DK worsted. I was getting a much bigger sweater than the pattern called for, so I did not cast on. I've cast on 2 stitches for my underarms in order to make up for my difference in gauge. I did not knit nearly as many repeats of the increases down the body because, again, of my gauge. If I were to do it again, if I were to back up and do it over, I would have made my increases a little bit closer, maybe 2 rows closer, so that I could get all those increases and it would be even more A-line, more loose at the bottom. But I think the way it is perfect. Let's see, what else did I change? I think that's about it. So the size is kind of weird because I used 1 stitch count for the body and a different stitch count size for the sleeves. When I got down to the number of stitches that it wanted me to decrease to for the sleeves, I was already at the length of sleeve it called for my size to start the ribbing. So I did about, I think I got bored with my first cuff at 2.5, or no, 1.5 or a little more inches, and I said that I'm done. That's good. I like the ribbing there. We're just gonna go with it. So I did not do my sleeves 2 at a time like I usually would. I just did them 1 at a time. I hung markers, like little progress keeper markers, off of each increase or decrease so I could keep up with where my decreases were and how many I did so that I could do the other sleeve exactly the same. And I am over the moon. I have finished a sweater in less than a month. 3 weeks. 3 weeks and change. I would absolutely recommend this pattern. The way she wrote it was brilliant. It does have this lace on the front. It's a yarn over, double decrease yarn over. It's not, and then knit 2. It's not a hard lace at all. Just the 1 row repeat, and then knit around, and then the lace, and then knit around it. If you've never done lace before, this would not be a bad place to start. I think I'm turning into a garment knitter. I think I'm doing it. So that's my FO for today. Yay! I do have a few announcements. I am trying to make a sort of a push on YouTube to get more subscribers. I'd like to see more of you there. So I am offering a giveaway. I have dug into my stash and chosen some yarn to give away. Right now I'm at 224 subscribers. I think the first my first giveaway, I'm going to shoot small. Let's just say 250. So that's 26 more subscribers. If I can get 26 subscribers on YouTube, when I hit that milestone, I will be giving away this yarn. So there it is. I think I got this in a swap at Zombie Knitpocalypse. And this is Post Yarn from Simply Socks Yarn Company. This is striped. This is self-striping. It's Painted Desert. So you get 393 yards. It is a 75% superwash Corriedale and 25% nylon. I didn't know this was Corriedale. I may not have put this out there if I'd known that. I don't have any Corriedale nylon blend socks. But here it is. So when I hit 250 subscribers, I will do a I don't know. Let me think about how I'm going to do the giveaway, because I don't think I can see who subscribes to me. Can I? I'll have to figure that out. I don't think I can. Okay, I'll work that out. I'll work out the logistics of that. Just know, if you're not already subscribed, come subscribe to me on YouTube, and then I'll be giving that away. The other thing I wanted to talk about before I move on to my whip is I want to do a knit along. I'm going to go ahead and start talking about it now so you can get ready. There has been discussion with Wendy Silly Fruit of the Sassy Pants Knitter of maybe doing a joint knit along with her group too. And we are going to do the Ocean Bound by Melanie Berg. So here's what that looks like. Can you see through the glare? So it's solid, looks like garter stitch stripes, and then has some little lacy bits there. Yeah. So we're going to do the Ocean Bound. I've already chosen my yarn. As soon as I saw this pattern, I knew what I wanted to do. Couple 3 years ago, my husband and I guess it's been 3 years ago, went to Hilton Head, South Carolina. And I purchased this lovely Manos del Uruguay there. The colorway is the ever so lovely named A9537. We did a lot of not being on the beach when we were in Hilton Head. We did some kayaking and some mini golf, of course. We went out and looked at the lighthouse that they have there. But this yarn just evoked the memories of our kayaking expedition, our guided kayaking trip. And because we were back in the so the front side is the ocean side, the back side is the, I don't know. We were not in the ocean in our kayaks. We were back in the brush, and the green makes me think of that. It just, the blue of the sky that day, it just makes me think of our kayaking trip. And the first day we were there, the only time we were actually on the beach, we went for a walk when we first got there on the beach, and it rained on us. And so I have chosen to put with it this Color Wheel yarn. She's not dying right now, unfortunately. Hopefully she'll get back to it. But Color Wheel yarn. This is her Morning Mist. So this is a superwash merino and polyamide blend. This is a BFL, superwash BFL nylon blend. I think they'll play nice together. So that's going to be my solid. to remind me of the skies opening up on us. There's a little bit of gray in my souvenir yarn. I think they're just gonna play really nice together. So I believe if you look at this, I'm gonna put the Hilton Head yarn in the darker solid stripes there, the garter, so that it's not really fighting against the lace. And then this will be the lace. Yeah, you think so? There it is again. So that's my plan. I want to give you guys plenty of time. I know there's a lot of gift knitting happening right now, and that mad dash to Christmas and the holiday season. So I'm going to call this, let's start this after Christmas. This can even be your Christmas cast on if you want it to be. We can start this on December 25th. So that'll be a little less than a month. I'm going to run it for 2 months, let's say to the end of February, just to give you plenty of time, because I don't know if I'm going to have time to finish a shawl at that time. I mean, I finished a sweater in 3 weeks. Surely to goodness I can do this. But I am working on my whip down too. So this sweater was part of that whip down. Because I had this project. It had been already almost a sweater once before, but it was in my whips from 2012. And now it's finished, and I don't know, like, it's a defining moment for me. I don't know how to feel about this part of my life being over. So, as far as the whip down though, I have some socks for the husband that I would like to get finished by Christmas, so that's going to be my next big push after I finish this. It is my mother-in-law's birthday coming up this weekend, and she loves my dishcloths, so I have pulled out some out of my stash. I love this cotton from Hobby Lobby, and I really do love this cotton. It's very nice. Now I am whipping her up some dishcloths. In very short time, I made this one. This is a Granny's favorite dishcloth from my brain. I have a vague recollection of how the pattern's supposed to go, but this end is doing a weird thing, so I may stitch that close so it's more rounded. It ended up pointier than I think it should have, but anyway. So I'm going to try to make her 3 of these just from cotton from my stash by Saturday. So that's the one. I have this one on the needles. So what do you notice here that's different than usual? I'm knitting on straights. I don't know why, guys, but I really enjoy knitting my dishcloths on straight needles. These are some Brittany's, and I'm doing these. This is on US 8, which is a 5.0 millimeter. Just worsted weight cotton. I don't know if knitting with the cotton and knitting a simple dishcloth makes me want to go back to, you know, a simpler time before there were circular needles. I don't know. A friend suggested maybe it's because the bamboo needles have a little bit of give, and with the cotton it's easier. But I have bamboo circulars, and I don't prefer knitting with them. I prefer my straights for dishcloths. So I'm doing the increases till I hit 45 stitches. It's 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. It just dawned on me you may be listening to me and counting as well. I'm sorry about that. So I have 35 stitches on my needles right now. So just 10 more rows of increases, and then I'll be decreasing back down, and this one will be done. So I'm hoping, my mother-in-law is who is babysitting today, and I may pretend like I need to be at work at 2:30 instead of 3, so that I have half an hour of knitting time on that today. Oh, I forgot to say one other thing about my sweater. If you'll recall, I might have pointed out that, and it was in the picture on Instagram, it was right on my boob. But I don't know if you can see where I messed up that lace. When I laid it out and looked at it just now before I started recording, one, it's now to the side boob. It's not like right here in front, so it's not nearly as noticeable. But I may, after I weave my ends in and clip them off, I may take some of this yarn and weave it through that lace and see if I can't pull that hole closed just a little bit to make it not as noticeable to me. I'm sure no one else will see it, but I do. In my heart, I know I should have tinked back and corrected it the proper way. There was no, I was only 2 or 3, 4 rows past it, but I had just tinked back a huge section to correct my underarms, and I didn't want to do it again. So that's why I didn't. But I think that's all I have to talk about today. It's going to be a fairly short episode then. There was something else that I'd wanted to share with you, but I do not recall what it is. I don't. I guess that'll just have to wait for next week. We'll call this my episode for this week, and I will shout back at you next Friday with a report of how she enjoys her dishcloth, a report on where our subscriber stance is, and what kind of logistics I have worked out for the giveaway for 250 subscribers. And don't forget to, if you are interested in joining, there's a lot of Melanie Berg knit-alongs right now. I know the Bergalong, Big Bad Bergalong is happening, but I don't know. I know it's occurring, but I do not follow closely enough to the podcasts that are doing that to even know how long that goes or when it ends or anything like that. So, and this is a Melanie Berg pattern, but ocean bound. That's what we're going to be doing. I decided I wanted to do a knit-along, and I didn't want to do a big open-ended knit-along where a bunch of people are doing a bunch of things. I wanted us all to have the same pattern, so I like seeing the same pattern in a variety of ways, and see what kind of colors people are putting together. If you can stash dye for this, even better, because that's what I'm doing for mine, obviously. Yeah, so that's that. You can find me on Ravelry as Mandikat, M-A-N-D-I-K-A-T. You can find me on Instagram as Mandikat, M-A-N-D-I-K-A-T 509. I do keep it private because I do post pictures of my kiddo. And that sort of thing. If you could please have something in your profile, if you are private as well, have something in your profile that points out that you're a yarny type, and I will absolutely allow you to follow me. That's just to keep all the weirdo crazy people out. Where else? That's pretty much where I do most of my social media these days. You can find show notes at weareyarn.com or in the Ravelry group and that is just We Are Yarn Podcast. I link to pretty much everything I talk about in my show notes. It's usually though just in the version of I link to my project page, and my project page has links to everything you need to know what's going on. I do keep pretty extensive project notes on my project pages, so. I hope you have a fabulous week and a half before I see you again. I'll probably talk to you again next Friday. Please keep Gatlinburg and the East Tennessee area in your prayers if you're the praying type. If you're not, just send us thoughts of hope and send good thoughts to all of the firefighters that are out trying to save a huge part of East Tennessee. I'd appreciate it. So, I know a lot of people are wondering if you want to donate to something. I don't even know where to tell you to donate to. If I do find out groups that are taking donations specifically for relief of the Gatlinburg fire, I will link that on the show notes as well. And without further ado, I hope all your crafting goes as you planned, and I'll see you next week. Bye, guys.
I just can't wait to finish. I got the kitten in blues. No, I just can't wait to finish. That's why I got those kitten in blues.